Phenom 300 has been one of the most successful light jets in the world for more than a decade. It is fast, it can be flown by a single pilot, it has a cabin that feels surprisingly substantial for a light jet, and it has earned a strong reputation among owner pilots, charter companies, and fractional owners. So how do you improve an airplane that is already doing almost everything right? That is the challenge Embraer faced with the new Phenom 300EV. And rather than completely redesigning the aircraft, Embraer focused on things owners and pilots are actually going to notice: more useful payload, better cockpit technology, improved connectivity, additional cabin comfort, and one major safety feature that could completely change the conversation around single-pilot jet operations. Today, we are taking a closer look at the new Embraer Phenom 300EV to see what has changed, what has stayed the same, and whether the best light jet on the market may have just gotten even better. Hi, my name is Chad, and I am with Elite Ace Aviation. We cover aviation news, aircraft reviews, pilot resources, flight simulation, and everything else happening in the world of aviation. You can also find a full written version of this review along with plenty of other aviation content at eliteaceaviation.com. Now let's get into the Phenom 300EV. First, the EV in Phenom EV stands for evolution. It does not mean electric vehicle. The name actually describes Embraer's approach to this airplane pretty well. This is not a completely new aircraft, and it's not supposed to be. It is the third major version of the Phenom 300, and Embraer has kept the basic design that made the airplane successful while adding technology that brings it closer to what we normally expect from larger business jets. The Phenom 300EV was unveiled in July 2026, with deliveries expected to begin in 2028. That also means this is not a traditional flight review. The airplane is not in customer service yet, and nobody outside of Embraer has had enough real-world experience with it to tell us exactly how to perform on everyday missions. What we can do is look at the announced specifications and upgrades and decide whether they appear to offer a more meaningful improvement over the current Phenom 300E. And so far, I think they do. The Phenom 300EV retains a maximum speed of Mach 0.80. That is important because speed has always been one of the biggest advantages of the Phenom 300. It is technically a light jet, but its performance often feels closer to what you would expect from a larger aircraft. Published range increases to 2,055 nautical miles with NBAA IFR reserves. Now, that is only a modest increase over the Phenom 300E. It is not enough to suddenly turn the aircraft into a coast-to-coast machine under every possible condition, especially when you add passengers, baggage, weather, headwinds, and reserves. Embraer increased the maximum zero fuel weight, giving the aircraft approximately 430 pounds of additional payload capacity. That might not sound as impressive as a major range increase, but in a light jet, 430 pounds can make a real difference. That could mean carrying 2 additional adults, more baggage, extra equipment, or simply having more flexibility when balancing passengers and fuel. One of the frustrating things about light jets is that an airplane may physically have open seats, but that does not mean that you always have the weight available to fill them. Pilots and owners can end up choosing between passengers, baggage, and fuel, even though the cabin appears to have enough room. Now, the Phenom 300EV will not eliminate those decisions entirely, but an additional 430 pounds should make them less common. This is the kind of improvement that may not dominate an advertisement, but operators are going to appreciate it on real trips. The feature getting the most attention is Garmin Emergency Autoland, and honestly, it deserves the attention. Embraer says the Phenom 300EV will be the largest business jet equipped with Garmin Emergency Autoland when it enters service. Now, the system is designed for a situation in which the pilot becomes incapacitated. It can activate automatically if the aircraft detects a problem, or someone in the cabin can activate it manually. Once activated, the system can select a suitable airport, communicate with air traffic control, navigate to that airport, descend, configure the aircraft, and complete the landing. Think about what that means for an owner pilot flying with a spouse, children, friends, or business partners. If the only pilot on board suddenly becomes unable to fly, the passengers no longer have to figure out how to operate a business jet while someone attempts to talk them through it over the radio. They have a realistic way to get the airplane safely on the ground. Now, Emergency Autoland does not replace training, good judgment, aircraft maintenance, or proper flight planning. The pilot still has to make the decisions that keep the flight safe under normal circumstances. But for the extremely rare situation where the pilot can no longer perform the job, this system provides a real level of backup that single-pilot business jets simply do not have in the past. For owner pilots who regularly fly with family, this feature alone could have a major influence on the decision to purchase the aircraft. The Phenom 300EV continues using Embraer's Garmin-based Prodigy Touch flight deck, but several new capabilities have been added. These include 3D taxiway routing, runway occupancy awareness, synthetic vision guidance system capability, FANS 1A+, RMP AR.3 capability, and an inertial reference system. Now, those features join technology already associated with the Phenom, including auto throttle, emergency descent mode, and Embraer's runway overrun awareness and alerting system. Some of those names sound very technical, but the overall purpose is pretty simple: reduce pilot workload and help prevent small mistakes from becoming major ones. 3D taxiway routing may become one of the most useful additions during normal operations. Taxiing around a large and unfamiliar airport at night in bad weather or in reduced visibility can create a surprising amount of workload. You may be dealing with several turns, hold short instructions, runway crossings, and other aircraft moving around you. Having a clearer visual representation of the assigned taxi route could make the process safer and much easier to manage. Runway occupancy awareness is another valuable addition. Runway incursions and wrong runway events do not begin with a major equipment failure. They can begin with distraction, confusion, or one misunderstood instruction. The best technology helps the pilots recognize the mistake before the aircraft crosses a line it should not cross. Another major change is the addition of rudder-by-wire. An Embraer-developed electronic controller will manage the rudder along with several other electronically controlled functions. Most passengers will never notice it, and it probably will not receive as much attention as emergency Autoland, but it gives Embraer a deeper level of integration between the aircraft's flight controls and its automated safety systems. The Phenom 300EV is also receiving auto brake. During takeoff or landing, auto brake can provide more consistent braking while removing another task from the pilot during one of the highest workload portions of the flight. Neither rudder-by-wire nor auto brake is as easy to advertise as an airplane that can land itself. Together, though, they make the Phenom 300EV feel like a more complete and sophisticated aircraft. Embraer did not completely redesign the cabin, and I think that was the correct decision. The current Phenom 300 already offers large windows, a wide entry door, substantial baggage capacity, and a cabin that feels respectable for this category. Instead, Embraer focused on smaller details that passengers are likely to notice during actual trips. The redesigned refreshment center includes a retractable tray, a high-powered electrical outlet, and space for the owner's preferred hot beverage machine. Temperature control has also been improved, and the cabin receives an air ionization system and odorless vacuum lavatory. The lavatory upgrade is more significant than it may sound because the lavatory is one area where many light jets still remind you very quickly that you are inside a light jet. Connectivity is also becoming increasingly important. So what do you think? Did Embraer make the right upgrades, or would you rather spend nearly $14 million on a larger pre-owned jet? Let us know in the comments. And for more aviation news, aircraft reviews, pilot resources, and flight simulation content, visit us at EliteAceAviation.com. You can find the complete written Phenom 300EV review link in the description below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you do not miss our next video. And before you go, we also have the Elite Ace Aviation merchandise available now. Check out this shirt and check out this one. You can find both of these along with the rest of our aviation merchandise using the links below. Thanks for watching Elite Ace Aviation, and we'll see you in the next one.